Okay, good afternoon. I want to thank everybody for coming today on short notice. This morning, ownership and myself met with Coach Carroll. After a lot of discussions, we made a decision to go in a different direction. We informed Coach Carroll of that this morning. I want to thank Coach Carroll from the ownership perspective and from my personal perspective as well. He was a great partner. In my first year in this job, he worked tirelessly to give Raider Nation, the team, and the outcomes and the results that they wanted and deserve. He was a wonderful person to deal with for me personally on a day-to-day basis, and I'm just very grateful to have had the opportunity to work with him, a great coach like him, for a year. And this organization, the ownership, myself, wish him nothing but the best in the future. We're truly grateful for his efforts. I also want to make it extremely clear, too, that I bear a ton of responsibility for the outcome of this season and our record. This isn't on any one person, and really I don't want anyone to think that anyone deserves more responsibility than me in that. It's something I'm very aware of. I think about all the time and am determined to get right. And, you know, the accountability should start and stop with me, and that needs to be said. I want to thank all of our coaches, all of the players, all of the support staff, that despite our record, they worked tirelessly, they poured their hearts into it, they never wavered. And it was great to see that culminate with a win yesterday. They battled to really the final play of the season, and I think that was a true revelation of their character. And you know, they all should have a lot to be proud of. We have a massive opportunity in front of us this offseason to set this organization, this franchise, on a course for success and provide the results that the Raider Nation and the Las Vegas community deserves and expects. We intend to tack it full on. The work has already begun. I think we're all aware of all the resources that Mark and ownership group have given to us. Obviously, there's the draft. We have capital. We have one of the greatest buildings, if not the greatest building in the NFL. There's a lot to be excited about here, and it is going to be my responsibility to lead this up and set this organization on a course of sustained success. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you all have.
There's microphones on either side here. John, just curious, having the first pick overall in the draft, how much did that kind of play into this to do a sort of a full reset with your coach and whoever it is that you guys end up drafting?
Just because we have the first pick in the draft, that didn't carry a lot of weight in the decision that we made. You know, I think we have a great opportunity to build this franchise the right way now. We never want to be in this spot again. I never thought I would be in this spot, but we got to be real with where we're at. We have to understand the opportunity that we have in front of us, and our focus and our vision is on everything going forward now.
John, with your first pick as an NFL GM, you selected Ashton Jeanty. Can you give an evaluation of how you feel his rookie season went? And also, what do you think are some steps you feel like you need to take to maximize his potential as you continue to evolve the team?
Yeah, I'm proud of Ashton. It wasn't an easy season for him. He showed up every day and worked. He showed up every game and competed. He was always available for his teammates. He was an exemplary worker. And, you know, we've got to do a better job surrounding him with a lot of players that can help him too. And, you know, his success, I know there's been a lot of narratives out there that he didn't have the season that, you know, maybe he deserved or you would expect from the 6th overall pick. Well, that's fine, but it's not just Ashton. There's 10 other people that are out there with him, and it's our job to put a great group of guys around him to help him realize his potential.
John, 2 questions. Number one, do you expect your new coach to have the autonomy to pick his own staff, or do you think that you would have input in that as well?
I want to turn that over to the coach. I mean, we're going to have a lot of great conversations about who, why, where. There's going to be a lot of great football conversations, but my belief has always been, you know, you give a lot of the responsibility to the head coach to hire the staff that he wants to hire. It's who reports to him and who he works with every day.
And moving forward, would you expect on a more regular basis to have Tom in the building physically?
I have a great relationship with Tom. We're in constant communication daily, and whether he's in the building or not, you know, our conversations are very much similar. So I always love seeing him. He's somebody I've learned a lot from every time I've had a chance to sit in a room with him, but we've had a lot of great phone conversations as well.
You mentioned building around
Ashton, when you build out your offensive line moving forward, how much will you take into consideration the experience in those offensive linemen?
We're gonna attack this entire offseason with an extremely open mind, and anybody that can help bolster that offensive line and do the job required will be considered. We have a lot of capital, cap space. We've got some elite draft picks, and maybe adding a veteran presence in there or two would be helpful, but not necessarily an absolute necessity. We're not going to begin with the end in mind.
John, excuse me. Could you describe Brady's level of involvement in the decision to part ways with Pete Carroll?
I would just say that everything was evaluated as the season went and over the last couple of days, and I talk to him almost every day, and we have a great relationship. He trusts me. We tell each other the truth, and we just had a lot of conversations about it. And ultimately, we made the decision that this was in the best interest of the Raiders.
Just a follow-up question. Did you feel like, because I know Pete mentioned earlier how in the beginning with your relationship, guys kind of didn't see eye to eye on certain things, which can happen. But I was wondering, did you feel like the two of you were operating on different timelines at that time? And how did that relationship develop over the course of the year?
I wouldn't say that we were operating on different timelines, and I've also never been in a relationship where we both agree all the time. I mean, ask my wife, she'll tell you that. Anything that we didn't always agree on, we talked about. I had a great relationship. He was always in my office. I was always in his office. We collectively sat in the space together until we felt like we could make the best decision in the Raiders. And we didn't obviously get everything right. And again, put the responsibility on me. I've got to do a better job on that standpoint. But Coach and I had a great relationship from my perspective. And because we didn't agree all the time, had nothing to do with. I don't know actually a great relationship where everybody agrees all the time. I think that would actually be counterproductive.
John, obviously once.
Okay, sorry,
once the offseason commences, obviously a lot of teams around the league will inquire about Max Crosby in a trade. Do you view him as a untradeable, untouchable player moving forward once the offseason starts?
I have a lot of respect for Max and how much he loves to play the game. And I've had the opportunity in the last several weeks to spend a lot of time with Max. And I think it's been well documented that he didn't love the idea of not playing football. And I think you always want that from your best players. In fact, I think that's why they're your best players. So I love Max. He embodies what a Raider is. I've been pretty upfront with that from the day that I sat up here almost a year ago. And I continue to believe that.
Hey, John, everything happened so quick last year with your hiring and Pete. So this is kind of the first time in your position where you'll be such a big part of the coaching search. What are you going to prioritize? What are some things you're looking for in the next coach?
We're looking for someone to build this the right way and not think that, we've got to produce 10 wins or whatever next year. That'd be great to do. And we see teams like the Patriots and the Jaguars flip it. I've always kind of thought that you're never as good in this league as you think you are, and you're never as far away as you think you are. And we're just going to go in open-minded. The work has begun upstairs this afternoon, and I've got to get back up here in a little bit and keep going. But we're going to prioritize, whoever's the best coach for the Las Vegas Raiders is who we're going to hire. And we're not beginning with the end in mind. And we want a meticulous build that will set us up for years of success in the future. And we have a great opportunity to do that with everything that we have out in front of us right now.
Two questions. What do you think ultimately happened this year to lead to where you guys ended up, number one? And secondly, what's the status of the assistant coaching staff? Are they being brought back or were they let go as well?
Yeah. Obviously we didn't win enough games early in the year. Sometimes I go back to the Bears game where we were 1-2 and they're 2-1, and we turned it over 4 times. We got a kick blocked, and we really had that game won about 3 or 4 different times. And it's kind of been my experience where that kind of win can propel you, or that one can kind of sink you. And I think we all know how the season went after that. We got a couple of our guys hurt that were big blows to us. But listen, those are just excuses. We just didn't perform well enough. We didn't play well enough. We didn't do the right things consistent enough to win games. And, you are what you are. We're 3-14, and we've got a lot of work to do. The other part of it was about the assistant coaches. They're all currently under contract. I met with them a couple hours ago, and we talked through the next steps, but they're all currently under contract right now.
What are some of the traits that you and Tom have that you believe will help you collaborate together to move the football operations forward in a positive manner?
I think people sometimes misunderstand mine and Tom's relationship. We played together 1 year at Michigan, and then we didn't talk for 20 years. And then he came to Tampa, and so. But what really resonates with Tom and I think, is our shared vision of what football is, and a lot of it goes back to Michigan. I think I've talked about this a little bit, but just the idea of work ethic and accountability and discipline and a team built on really the team. I mean, it's kind of runs through my head, the team. I can see it written on the walls at Schimbeckler Hall and see Bo Schimbeckler saying it. And we see football similar. We don't see it the same. We have plenty of discussions and disagreements, and I'm not afraid to tell him that. I think that's kind of why he likes me. But I do believe that we see things similar, and we've both had a lot of success seeing it that way. And I think we know what we're after, and it's up to us now to go find it.
Hugh Myers, Raider Nation Radio 920. Now that you have a year under your belt and you kind of know what you have and what you don't have, what is that shared vision that you and Tom have putting this team together?
Well, it's about team before self. It's about discipline. It's about accountability. It's about work ethic. Winning is fun, but it comes at a price, and it is required every day. Otherwise, this league is far too competitive, and he's felt it. I felt it. You can feel like you're close, but if you're off by a couple different things, you can end up at 3-14. And we've got to put a process and a system in place that demands the best of our players, of our coaches, of our entire football operations, and really the entire building every day. And I've been here a year now. I've got to know MD, ownership. I know what the expectations are. I've got to know the building, I think, really well. And we've got a plan in place, and we're gonna start working on it. And the goal is constant, meticulous improvement, so that this organization and the Raider Nation can be proud when they walk into Allegiant Stadium.
John, obviously this wasn't the season that anyone anticipated for Geno Smith. What is his status at this point, and could you envision him coming back next year?
Yeah, Geno's under contract for next year. We did that because when we traded for him, we liked him. I'm not going to get too far into the future right now. I'm day by day, but he's one of the guys that's under contract. He's a quarterback. He played some good football this year, and we'll make those decisions going forward.
I know Q just asked what you learned about the organization over this year. Maybe what did you learn about yourself? And you dream about this job for a long time. You get on it. I'm sure you didn't picture this season being your first one, but what did you learn about yourself along the way?
Yeah, I don't want to make this about me. To answer your question, I'm okay in this space. I'm okay with it being uncomfortable. My life has been ups and downs. I've been rocked to my core personally, and I know I'll be okay. And you just get up every day and you take one step at a time and you keep going and you show up and you work, and you can make gains every day. And I think we have a big mountain to climb, but we're not trying to do it all in one day. And steady success, leadership, and just show up every day will get us a long way. So I don't know if you totally know that until you go through this, but.
John, I was wondering, going back to Brady, do you envision kind of like his involvement to increase moving forward, whether that is not being in the building or whatnot? Like, how would you, because I know in the statement it says close collaboration in all football operations. I was wondering, how would you describe his role moving forward after this year?
Yeah, I know you're kind of on this. I talk to him a lot. He's aware of what we're doing. I don't bore him with the mundane, transactions or all that. But any big decision, I've talked to him about. Any vision, I've talked to him about. He's a great resource for me. He's a great partner in this for me. And I would be not doing a good job and be a fool if I didn't talk to him. He's been supportive of me. He can't be here every day right now, but I promise you, I talk to him a lot, and he and I are on the same page.
Sorry, I know he was mentioned about sustained success. How important would stability be for that, to achieve that vision, sustained success? Since this organization has been dealing with coaching changes year in, year out, just how important would stability be in terms of achieving that goal of yours?
I think as the NFL goes, it's important, but this is a largely unstable world we live in. Even when you're good, you have instability because your coordinators take off on you. There's a couple teams that were great last year and they lost some really good coaches, and it hasn't worked out as well for him this year. So we're always battling every year. It feels like every game, every week, every year you're battling. And so, it'll be built organizationally. We want to define what it means to be a Raider. We want people that are excited to be a Raider. We think that this is an exciting job. And we want people where it means a little bit more to be a Raider. And I think when we can find that, we can find those people that are dying to stay here, dying to come here, dying not to leave here, then, that success with some stability will be created.
John, you described this as a massive opportunity. Could you just speak a little bit more on, if done the right way, the impact that the right head coach and a, first overall draft pick can have on the future of this franchise?
I mean, the league is littered with, when you get the top pick right, those guys are franchise-altering players. There's probably no more important hire in an NFL organization than the head coach. They're the daily guy. They set the vision. They set the cadence. They are what touches the players every day and demand excellence from players. And the players are the ones that have to go out there and do it. And the more good players you have and the better person at the helm that you have steering that ship, my experience is the more successful you are. And, you look at, are there two more important hires in an organization than a quarterback and a head coach? I think we probably all would agree that those two men usually steer the ship, and that's out in front of us right now.
Some coaches, I know they're under contract, but have they been given permission to look for other jobs at all? Is that?
I don't want to get too deep into the conversations that I've had with the coaches. They know where they stand.
Over the last couple of weeks, seeing a lot of these younger guys that you brought into the building that you either drafted or brought into free agency, seeing them play, how excited are you to continue to see them develop, but also how important is it to you not only bring in more players, but retain a lot of the guys in the building as well that you feel are best fit?
Yeah, I'm proud of the rookie class. It wasn't easy for them. They battled and they got better as the season went, and I think that showed up over the last couple of weeks. But this is the biggest offseason of their careers usually. Guys have a chance to take a massive jump, and if they don't, you kind of wonder why, and a lot of times it's pretty telling. So, they got a massive opportunity that they got to attack this offseason too, and I'm going to spend some time over the next couple of weeks talking to all those men. We've got 10 more draft picks that we have shots this year to try to load it up with more young players, and we don't want to let good players leave our building. That's happened around here. I was in charge last year when a couple of good players left the building, and it's one of the things I learned. You got to keep our good players here. And, we were talking about it this morning. Just you look around the league, there's some former Raiders that are playing good football somewhere, and I got to do a better job in that world.
John, quickly, you mentioned building and climbing back up to the top here. I'm curious, when you look at this season 25, were you happy with how the rookie class was developed? Is there anything different you would like to see moving forward?
I'm not real happy right now in 3-14. I would just go back to I'm proud of those guys for them competing, and I think they're the right kind of guys and they're about the right things. And my experience has been when you add the right kind of people to an organization, whether it's scouts, analytics people, wellness, players, you'll be okay. And we'll just keep trying to do that with players too. Okay, great. Thank you, John. Thank you all. Appreciate you all coming.